So do you mind if I rant a little bit? A good Monday morning rant. I'm actually recording this on like Sunday evening, so really it's a Sunday evening rant, but I'm not going to post it till Monday. So it's a Monday morning rant. And listen, I thought in 2020 we had reached peak stupid. I really did. There's so many stupid things about this year. Everything from the COVID lockdowns to stupid mask Nazis to the Proud Boys getting declared a white supremacist organization, which I'm thinking about just because last night the Proud Boys were out in DC doing what the Proud Boys do, which is fine, but they're not a white supremacist organization, and anyone who thinks they are is a moron because the leader of the Proud Boys isn't white, and yet still everyone and their mother had to declare that the Proud Boys were a white supremacist organization, which was the stupidest thing I had ever heard in my life. I thought we had reached peak stupid for 2020, but no, we have not reached peak stupid. We still have apparently a little bit more stupid left to go. And yes, I should actually in this video have like a counter or something. Every time I say stupid, it's gonna be like ding, 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 ding. I'm going to make an effort to make the video with the most amounts of stupids in it as any YouTube video ever made, because this is stupid. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Here is what I have been dealing with all flipping weekend. Seeing it everywhere. People inserting their opinions about who should and should not be eligible to use the title of doctor, and I think only MDs should use it, only MDs and PhDs should use it, and only PhDs with certain titles should use it, but certainly not Jill Biden. And it all started on Friday. It started on Friday with this stupid op-ed in this stupid Wall Street Journal, who is stupid because they chose to publish this stupid op-ed. Is there a doctor in the White House? Not if you need an MD. Jill Biden should think about dropping the honorific, which feels fraudulent, even comic. Dude? Anyone with an earned doctorate. You can get a doctorate in many different things. You can get a doctorate in medicine. You can get a doctorate in psychology. You can get a doctorate in philosophy, which is what I have, a PhD. The original doctors. P.S. PhDs were the original doctors, not MDs. You can doctor in many other things. Pharmacy, chiropractic, divinity, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., ring a bell? Where are the op-eds around Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. not being called doctor because he is not a medical doctor? His doctorate was in divinity. And I know that because he got his doctorate from my university, Boston University. There's a whole freaking thing about the office that he worked in while he was there to get his doctorate in divinity. Yet people are saying he should drop the doctor title. Apparently it's okay for him, but not okay for Jill Biden. Anyone who earns a doctorate, I don't care what the subject is, anyone who has an earned doctorate is eligible to use the doctor title should they want to. But apparently that's not good enough for Joseph here, who went on a little rant, probably as a result of him being a little insecure about not having an advanced degree on his own. Let's read. Madame First Lady, Mrs. Biden, Jill, kiddo. He called her kiddo. I mean, dude, Jill Biden is not my favorite person in the world, but to call her kiddo, this is petty and this is stupid. And if you have no other reason to criticize Jill Biden, but to go after the fact that she calls herself Dr. Biden and to call her kiddo in response, that is the most petty thing I have ever heard of in my life. But let's keep going. A bit of advice on what may seem like a small, but I think not unimportant matter. No, it's an incredibly unimportant matter. This is the most unimportant matter in the history of unimportant matters. Any chance you might drop the doctor before your name? Dr. Jill Biden sounds and feels fraudulent, not to say a touch comic. Your degree is, I believe, an EDD, a Doctor of Education, earned at the University of Delaware through a dissertation with an unpromising title, Student Retention in the Community College Level, Meeting Students' Needs. A wise man once said that no one should call themselves doctor unless he has delivered a child. Think about that, Dr. Jill, and forthwith drop the doc. I'm sorry. There are medical doctors who have never delivered a child. Again, I'm going to look at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Did he ever deliver a child? I mean, I don't know. I don't know for sure. Maybe he did, but I'm going to guess not in the course of his degree of study for which we all call him doctor. And now we're going to get to what the real issue is and why people are so GD insecure about these stupid flipping titles. I taught at Northwestern University for 30 years without a doctorate or any advanced degree. And clearly, dude still has a chip on his shoulder from this whole experience. And I know enough about Northwestern and many schools like Northwestern to know that his teaching career and the amount of money he could make and what title he probably had was probably stunted by the fact that he didn't have a doctorate. I'm sure he took a round of probably many rounds of grief from other faculty members for not having a doctorate. I'm sure it created many obstacles for him that would otherwise not have been there if he had put in the time to get a doctorate. Now, do I think that people with earned doctorates are smarter than anyone else? No. And I say that as someone with a PhD. Dude, I have a PhD in psychology and I worked my butt off to get it. And yeah, there are actually occasions when I use the doctor title, mostly around my work. I use my doctor title anytime I'm introducing myself for like a presentation surrounding my actual job as an organizational psychologist. I'll say, I'm Dr. Carlin Borisenko. Am I going to get my panties in a wad if someone comes up afterwards and shakes my hand and says, good presentation, Carlin, instead of good presentation, Dr. Borisenko? No, because that is as equally as stupid as getting your panties in the wad over someone using the earned title of doctor that they earned through years of work. Dude, I don't care what type of doctorate you have. I don't care. Every single earned doctorate is a tremendous amount of work. Now, it is absolutely true that some take more work than others. An EDD is not the hardest doctorate to earn, but listen, it's all relative too. For someone who's not inclined towards what they need to learn in an EDD, it might be incredibly difficult for them to earn. But I would generally say, no, it's probably not as difficult to earn as like an MD. My PhD in organizational psychology, probably not as difficult to earn as an MD. But does that mean that I don't get to use the title of doctor? No, of course it doesn't. It also doesn't mean that Jill Biden doesn't get to use it. This is her choice. It's her choice. Freedom means the freedom to make your own choices. Now, do I believe that any person should be compelled to call Jill Biden Dr. Jill Biden? No, because I don't believe in compelled speech. But what does it say about you if you are so against calling someone Dr. Jill Biden, Dr. Borisenko, Dr. whatever? What does it say about you? It says that there is a fundamental, like it's triggering something for you. And by the way, guys, if you are triggered over the idea that a woman with an earned doctorate is calling herself doctor, then you probably have no business, absolutely no business, calling anyone a snowflake. If this is triggering to you, it is a title. It is no different than sir or ma'am or Mr. or Mrs. or any other title that exists out there. Why is it so triggering to you to have to call someone doctor? At the end of the day, what it reflects is an insecurity on your part. That is something you need to work on. And I'm going to say this too, man. And again, I'm not someone that says, you have to call me Dr. Borisenko. The only time I would actually say that is if you pissed me off, usually by talking down to me on a subject that I'm actually an expert in. I would never say to call someone, actually, it's Dr. Borisenko, unless you had done something to deserve it. But, like, so what if I did? Dude, I spent 7 years earning my PhD. I worked nights, I worked weekends, I worked on it full-time or part-time while I was also working full-time. Like, I freaking earned it. And who the hell are you to tell me I shouldn't use it? Who are you to tell Jill Biden that she shouldn't use it? Dude, not your choice. And with their refusal to use it, to present that basic respect and courtesy, like, why should I respect you if you aren't going to respect me? This is what the crux of this is. People are up in arms about this because they're pissed about the election and because they aren't channeling their aggression in a more productive way. They're being pissed about something petty like calling Jill Biden Dr. Biden. Dude, she was called, I saw a tweet earlier today like, well, why did she all of a sudden start using the title of doctor? She used the title of doctor throughout the entire Obama administration. She used it the entire time she was second lady of the United States. It was always Dr. Biden. Why is it an issue now? Because you're pissed off about the election results, and I get it, man. I get it. I don't want to see her as first lady, but that doesn't mean that we need to start focusing on stupid nonsense issues. Whether or not Jill Biden uses the title of doctor means nothing to anyone. Absolutely nothing. If you want to criticize her, find an actual reason to criticize her. Otherwise, you're just being lazy. Nonsense issues like this, man. I'll tell you what, nonsense issues. I saw someone saying like, if you use the doctor title, you're stealing valor from actual doctors. Please, please. You're just being a difficult idiot who doesn't want to put the effort in to coming up with an actual criticism. I don't care if the only doctors you think of are medical doctors. As a reality, your lived experience of only thinking of medical doctors as doctors is not reality in the broader sense. Facts don't care about your feelings. I don't really care. Anyone who has earned a doctorate has the right to call themselves doctor. It is then your choice about whether or not you respect that. But your decision says a lot more about you than it does about them. And it tells me all I need to know about who are the insecure people and who are not the insecure people, and who are the ones that actually care about issues and who are the ones that are just being difficult for the sake of being difficult and bitter and petty. It is ridiculous. It is a stupid argument, and there are many better things we can be fighting about. All right. And rant. I got it out of my system. I don't really care if you call me doctor or not. I'm just going to leave it at that, I suppose. That's all I've got for right now. I'll see you soon.